relationships in general because I have a lot of opinions. I hope you are also not delivering nonsense. And if you are, check yourself. Hey y'all, if you're new here, I'm April.Kristine. Welcome to my channel. And if you're not new here, hey boo, I see you coming back. For today's video, we're going to be talking about the Netflix show, The Ultimatum, but also just like relationships in general because I have a lot of opinions. It's gonna be a little mukbang situation. So I picked up Wingstop, that's my name. I only picked it up because one of you, I'm not exactly sure where I saw it, but one of you was at Wingstop and you had specifically boneless wings and you just dipped it in their ranch and it just looked so scrumptious on Instagram. So I was like, we're gonna have some Wingstop and we're gonna chat about this Netflix show, but also like relationships because girl. So that's what today's video is going to be. If you enjoy mukbangs, if you enjoy Wingstop, if you've watched the show The Ultimatum, or hate the show The Ultimatum, or have no idea what I'm talking about, stay tuned to the rest of the video. And if you're not already, you can definitely subscribe to my channel. We would absolutely love to have you. Let's jump into it. I usually just like grab a pillow and try to balance my life. I'm really risking it all by having this white shirt on. Okay, so we have french fries, yum, ranch. Obviously, Wingstop, hands down, has the best ranch in the entire world. Nothing you say can tell me otherwise. Any other wing place, their ranch just doesn't compete. It doesn't compete. Buffalo Wild Wings, we don't know her. Local wing places want to charge you $1 for ranch that's like this big, and I'm like, no thanks. So Wingstop is where it's at. We also got this new jalapeno cheese dip. Ooh, it smells spicy. So I'm interested to try that. Oh, and it's greasy and we don't have napkins. Love that journey for me. The original hot is my journey. So a couple days ago, I asked you guys, those of you who are on my Instagram, I asked you how many of you are watching The Ultimatum and if I should give it a try because I started it. And when I tell you, I got through like the first episode and I was like, no, absolutely not. This is not for me. I just don't understand. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I think we've had this conversation. I don't watch a lot of reality TV. I guess I kind of do. I watch like 90 Day Fiance and I'm sure there's something else. I'm gonna try this really. I literally just got cheese all over this pillow. Guess we're gonna have to tell Horace we had Wingstop for lunch. Oh, good though. When I first started Ultimatum, I watched the first episode and I was like, this is freaking weird. And if you haven't seen it, there will not be any spoilers in this. If you want to watch it, you can definitely go ahead and do that. I'm not going to talk about it the entire time, so even if you haven't seen it, please stay tuned. Just let me preface some things. So if you have not seen The Ultimatum, it's like basically you take your partner onto this TV show and you give them an ultimatum, like marry me or we're done, basically. Or there's also other couples on this show. So you and your partner basically break up for 3 weeks and live with somebody completely different. And at the end of the show, you realize if you want to stay with your partner or if you have realized that there's something else out there for you, whether it be the person that you choose to be with over the 3 weeks or somebody completely different. So at first I was intrigued because it's hosted by Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey, which they also did Love is Blind, which I'm obsessed with. I love Love is Blind. Oh my god. I haven't had boneless wings in forever and low-key they hit. So I did watch Love is Blind and I was obsessed, right? So I was like, okay, let me give The Ultimatum a chance. But the thing for me was most of the people on there were like 23 talking about like,
we've been together for 2 years and I want to be married and I want a baby and my partner won't marry me, so I'm giving them an ultimatum.
Excuse me, 23? You're 23. Y'all been together for 2 years, so y'all got together when you were what, 21, 20? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Comment down below if you wanted to be married by 24, that's your goal, is to be married by 23. I just turned 29, but 23 to me feels like a baby. So young. I was 23 when I graduated college. I wasn't even done with school yet. And the fact that these girls, or these men too, some of the guys were the ones who brought their girlfriends on. All of them were young. All of them. None of them I don't believe were over the age of 25. That to me is just wild. And my thing is, I met Horace when I was pretty young, but I've been in enough relationships to know what I needed out of another person, if that makes any sense at all. I feel like a lot of the girls on the show or the women on the show were either super confident in themselves, but confident to where they were just being ridiculous. Nobody in this world is perfect, and that's the thing, that you have to find which imperfections you're willing to live with or you're willing to accept in your partner. There's certain things for certain people that are deal breakers, and I get that. Everybody has their thing, right? But some of these women are just giving these men these unrealistic expectations, and they want them to be the perfect guy. And I understand why some men would have reservations about marrying women who are that hard on you. Now, don't get me wrong, I do wholeheartedly believe in challenging your partner 1000%, but I also believe in like respecting them as a person and knowing their limits. I just feel like after 2 years, if you're pushing him or her to be married, clearly there's hesitation for something that you don't know, like you haven't gotten down to the bottom of yet. And I just feel like all that comes back to communication. So if you've watched any of Horace and I's videos together, you guys know how well we work with each other. Let me say, like, we are not by any means perfect whatsoever. We definitely still have our quirks. We definitely have, you know, our things, but I feel like for the most part, we are very different in certain aspects, but we are very the same in a lot of aspects. Both of us are very laid back. We are not really worked up most of the time. We're pretty chill, whatever the situation is, like it's cool, we'll do whatever, or we'll just stay in. Like nothing is really a big deal to us. But for me, I know I can get slightly spicy.
I will surely take a day off from you and then a day off from these kids.
And maybe that's the Latina in me, but also my family is spicy. My family can be confrontational, and I know that I can be too. Whether that be with my family or friends or somebody that I feel is disrespecting somebody, I'm just not one to not say anything. Or when I'm mad, you know that I'm mad. You know what I mean? So I can get spicy, and I don't feel like Horace has that spice in him. He'll definitely put his foot down. He's somebody to respect at the end of the day, but not to the extent that like I will just at the drop of a hat feel the need to do so. But him and I are so good at communicating that it never gets to that point. So because things are not very dramatic or a big deal to us, it's easy for us to say, hey, like you didn't do such and such and it kind of made me upset, or it hurt my feelings that you did X, Y, and Z. And he hears me, he takes that, and he, you know, apologizes immediately. I'm also very much the type of person who, if I'm mad, I just need a second or a minute or 3 minutes or an hour, however long I need to process what I need to say to you if you're somebody that I love. If you're somebody that I don't care about, I'm gonna say whatever I have to say, like I really don't care. But if you're somebody that I love, I've learned I can be mean sometimes. And it's important for me to take the time to myself, process what I'm feeling and understand what I'm feeling and be able to communicate how I feel, because if not, I'm not gonna be nice, and I don't want to hurt somebody because I'm mad. For me, that's my process. He understands that. I've been with people who are a lot like me, and they are fiery and they are intense and they, you know, get their feelings hurt, or they are sensitive like me. I'm very sensitive. Like I am spicy, but I'm also sensitive. Like I will put you in your place, but don't yell at me, because I will cry type of person. And I know that's bad. I shouldn't be like that, but I am. What am I gonna do? So I've been with other people who are sensitive like me or fiery like me, and we explode because in that moment, they are not mature enough to get to where I am as far as like I need time to process so I can communicate effectively. So they're very on the attack to where then I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing, say less. So then I'm also on the attack. That for me doesn't work. Horace and I are opposite in the sense that he's calm enough to counteract my spice. He'll let me, you know, cool off. He always knows when to walk away, when to leave me alone, or I always know when to walk away and leave him alone. Like, I've seen Horace mad maybe like one time since we've been together. And it wasn't even anything about me. It was something that had happened at the house. But yeah, we are opposite in the perfect way, I think. Also, I personally am not clingy. I don't love to be all over somebody. I don't love public affairs. affection, just don't be on top of me. Like, I need my space. I like to be by myself. I'm just very self-sufficient in entertaining myself and preoccupying myself, and I feel like I'm always constantly doing something. So I couldn't personally be with somebody who constantly needs my attention or constantly needs my affection or constantly needs like my reassurance. It just would literally drain me. But that's just me personally. Some people might be encountered with somebody like Horace, who's very low maintenance, who's very like, you know, just kind of chill and laid back and go with the flow, and they might take that as, well, does he love me? Like, does he not want to show me affection? What is the situation? But with me, it's like the perfect balance. Like, he's not going to be overly affectionate, and if I need some affection, I'll be like, hey, I could use a hug, or I will go initiate a hug. You know what I mean? Like, it all comes down to, it's never that serious with us. So to see these people on the show and they're just so worked up about literally everything, or they go through each other's phone. Y'all, if you are going through your partner's phone, girl, guy, they're not the one. They're not the one for you. Or y'all have some trust issues you need to work out. So that's another thing about Horace and I, is I trust that man with my entire heart and soul in life. Like, I know he would never do anything to jeopardize his family. We are such a unit, I feel. He loves me and he respects me, and I give him the same love and respect. But also, I've laid down rules as to what I will and will not tolerate. So Horace always says, you treat people how to treat you. So if I allow you to sit there and, you know, live your best life and be out all the time or do whatever with whoever, and I bring you back every single time, or I allow you to talk to me disrespectfully, or I allow you to call me out of my name, then you learn that that's okay. And for me, we have kind of unspoken ground rules. I will not tolerate disrespect. I would never disrespect him. If we are talking or communicating, I would never call him out of his name. I would never be physical towards him, which I feel like a lot of Latinas or a lot of spicier women will be quick to act in a physical way. And even if I feel like you hurt my feelings or you disrespected me, that's all that matters. I'm very big on people's feelings are valid. If I said something and it hurt your feelings, I'm not gonna say I didn't hurt your feelings because you're telling me I hurt your feelings. So it's not my place to belittle you or gaslight you and try to talk you out of your feelings. No, absolutely not. Your feelings are valid. And if I hurt your feelings, I'm genuinely sorry, but that's not at all what I meant. What I meant is blah, blah, blah. So when we communicate, it's very productive. It's very healthy. It's very kind. Kindness is something I wanted to talk about too. I feel like a lot of these people on this show are so self-centered. They have so many feelings and emotions, and they know what they want, but they don't understand that their person is also a person who has feelings and, you know, needs validation, or has feelings and needs to try to communicate those feelings. I just feel like some of these relationships are so selfish, and I don't understand. I've been in selfish relationships. My love language is acts of service, which can definitely be taken advantage of. I've been in controlling relationships to where I had to tell people where I was and what I was doing and who I was with, and I had to constantly be available to those people. And because I am the way that I am, I don't ever want to make anybody upset. If I love you, I don't want to upset you. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't like to fight. So if I know by me not being readily available or me not telling you what I'm doing when I'm doing that, if I know that that's going to upset you and then lead to an argument, I will just do my absolute best to avoid that, to where then I will drain myself by constantly checking in or constantly being available. And I just learned that I couldn't do that to myself because I'm such a people pleaser. At the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to make you happy. I'm trying to understand what you need and deliver that to you by then also neglecting what I need. And that's not healthy at all. So I've been in very different dynamic relationships, and that's what this show is kind of about, is the different dynamics of people. And I've been with people who were super affectionate and did really love me, but they were also fiery like me. So I've learned that Horace is just so safe to me. He's so kind. I try my best to be kind. Kindness is so important in this household. Just treat people like people. Be kind. Not nice, not fake nice, not don't do things to appease the other person, but kind in a sense that you understand what they need and you're giving them what they need out of kindness. I'm always going to speak to Horace out of kindness. I'm never going to speak to him. I try to never speak to him out of anger. I try never to speak to him impulsively. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people on the show, they don't don't know how to communicate. They're very selfish, but I feel like a lot of that comes with their age too. That's why I'm saying like 23 to me is so young to be married and know what you want for the rest of your life. Like that's a long time, my guy. So I don't know, this show is really all over the place. If you've seen it, let me know. I don't understand how or why you would need a TV show and the drama to figure out if that's your person. I don't think it really takes all that. For those of you who are in relationships or are not in relationships, I think it is so important to learn how to be self-sufficient before anybody is brought into anything. I've always wholeheartedly believed like if you're not happy with yourself, nobody else can do that for you. And I wanted to talk about relationships in the sense that this whole Will and Jada thing is happening too, and that dynamic is just completely wild to me. I feel like that man is so in love and he's not respected and he's not treated with compassion, and that breaks my heart because I feel like a lot of the men that let me know if I'm wrong or if you ladies have also felt this too, or if you're a guy here and you feel this way. It breaks my heart when men are taught by society that they have to be these strong, powerful, emotionless people, and that's not true. A lot of men that I know are sensitive, like they have a lot of feeling, they have a lot of emotion, but because society has trained them that they have to be a certain way, it's hard for them to express that in a productive manner. Most things can be solved surface level, and if they can't be, then whatever you have to take to get it out of the other person is what it is. But I just feel like people, as complex as we are also so simple. Like we all just want to be loved, we all just want to be heard, we all just want to be respected. The same goes with children, honestly. I feel like that's a person. Even if I'm talking to my children, I still treat my children as if they're adults. I would never sit there and call Horace or my family, any other adult, out of their name or talk to them disrespectfully. So I try to show the same respect to just people in general, whether you be my husband or my children or my family or my friends or a stranger, whatever race, whatever nationality, whatever sexuality, I don't care. You are a person to me and I see you as a person. I'm going to respect you and be kind to you because you're a person. Like I just feel like if we operated with respect and with kindness, so many things could be different. Like a lot of the people on there were on there because their partner genuinely did not listen to them. It would literally go in one ear and out the other. Or some people, they were opposite and one was loud and one was quiet. They were often talked over, and because they are quieter, it was harder for them to express that they were feeling ran over. But I feel like people aren't hard to read, and if that person is not able to open up and communicate to you why they love you or why they want to be married to you, then clearly there's something y'all have to get to the bottom of. You know what I mean? I don't know. This is wild. I've heard a million times marriage is 50-50. I've also heard a couple times marriage is not 50-50. Marriage is 100% and 100%. You both have to be literally giving your all to make it work. It's not easy. It's not always fun. It's not always exciting. You have to be comfortable sitting in those monotonous points. You have to be excited sitting in those excited moments. You're accepting it and you're at peace with that. I had somebody make a comment to me that because Horace makes the amount of money that he makes, that's why we don't argue. And I'm like, girl, what? No. Or I've had somebody tell me, does he even tell you he loves you? And I'm like, yes. Like, who do y'all think I am? Who do y'all think I'm tolerating? Like, I don't understand. We don't not argue because sometimes we have money. We don't argue because he's not overly expressive. People just always try to make it seem more complicated than it is. And it's really not that complicated. At the end of the day, we don't fight, we don't argue, and that's because I respect him. He respects me. We communicate well. We communicate with kindness. We listen. We're just very chill at the end of the day. Like, we're both so chill. We both know where we stand with one another. And I feel like that's important to have that sort of comfort, knowing that I'm in good hands and he knows he's in good hands and I will protect him at all costs, and I know he will protect me at all costs. And I feel like that's why it's so important to find your person. Like I said, I've been with other people who are fiery and spicy and are very affectionate, are very passionate people, but then also too, that's the biggest downfall for me too. Like, I've just learned, for me personally, I am the most calm, centered person when I am with Horace. I feel like if your partner is not opposite of you and they're very much much like you, that can also definitely work. Like if y'all are both gentle people, then amazing. I love that for y'all. If y'all are both fiery people, amazing. I love that passion for you. Like I feel like there needs to be boundaries. I was in a relationship that was fiery, that was passionate, that was spicy, but at the same time, when we would fight, certain things were said, or one time I was grabbed a certain way that I absolutely will not tolerate, and I had to let them know right then and there, you are not allowed to speak to me like that. You are not allowed to touch me like that. I will not tolerate being touched like that. Whatever your boundaries are, they need to be hard boundaries. And I am so bad at saying no to people who ask things of me, but I've learned I have to protect myself and my space, and I need you to protect yourself and your space. I don't know. I just had a lot of thoughts on the whole ultimatum thing. Like it's wild to me, you know, that people just think that their partner is supposed to be this perfect person and they're supposed to be able to read their minds and know exactly what they want and how they want it. If you have communicated to your partner what you need, what you want, if you're still not seeing action or change in your partner that you are realizing that you need, I'm not at all telling you to accept that. I'm not at all telling you to tolerate that. I think it's also important for us to know that as humans, if we expect this whole marriage thing to be long-term, people change, people's needs change. You know, what I needed when I was 16 and was in the most traumatic point of my life is not what I need now at 29, that I've learned to be self-sufficient and communicate my emotions. It's just completely different. I feel like we are allowed as people to grow and to change. Some things just take time too. Like for me, my trauma is also something that's important for me and is hard for me to communicate, especially at first, even over some years. It took me after Horace and I got married to be able to communicate with him some of the things that I deal with because of my trauma, or some of my reactions because of my trauma. If you are not comfortable communicating these things with your partner, I think it's important that you have somebody to communicate them with, but also I feel like it's important that you trust them enough to hold what it is you need to say. I would never want to upset him or hurt his feelings in any type of way, but by not saying what I need to say, I'm doing myself a disservice. I don't know, I just feel like at the end of the day, a lot of these people on this show didn't know how to talk to each other, and a lot of us still don't know how to talk to each other. I'm not the best communicator when I'm angry. I'm not the best communicator all the time, but you know, we all have our limits, we all have our tempers. None of us are perfect, and that's the point. Like, none of us are perfect. It's just wild to me that some of these relationships are just so toxic. And I know if you're in a toxic relationship, sometimes it's hard to see that it's toxic, or sometimes it's hard to discount the love and the passion. But I believe relationships, friendships, I recently had a friendship and I was like, this friendship does not serve me anymore. I had to be the one to come out and say how I was feeling, as uncomfortable as it made me, as uncomfortable as I knew it was gonna make them. I knew it was gonna hurt their feelings, but at the end of the day, if I didn't say what I needed to say, I wouldn't be true to who I am by allowing their behavior here. I just feel like all of the relationships in your life you should put work into, and you should nurture, and you should communicate. I just feel like it's important to know your relationships and your dynamics with people. At the end of the day, the relationships and the friendships that you have should serve you. I feel like they should bring you happiness, and they should bring you joy, bring you a sense of comfort and safety. And if they don't, then I feel like that needs to be addressed, and that's a problem. Whether it be relationship or friendship, if it doesn't serve you, I don't believe that you need to be there, or something needs to be fixed to where it starts to serve you. I just don't believe in giving out energy that you're not receiving back. All right, I'm sure we've been talking here long enough. If you haven't seen The Ultimatum and you're curious as to what I'm rambling about, go watch it. Let me know your thoughts on it. If you've seen it, hit me up in the DMs. There won't be any spoilers here. Yeah, I just feel like they were too young. I feel like they were all inexperienced. I feel like they were all very damaged and didn't know how to communicate. It was like the most chaotic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That was my thought process watching the entire thing, and I just needed to say it out loud so I could, you know, get past The Ultimatum. But I just binged it, and it's been at the forefront of my brain. That's all for that. I want to thank you guys who I know are here every single Wednesday. I know things have been kind of crazy here. We've been kind of all over the place. I'm really trying to find my passion for this again and start getting creative again. I feel like it's been a lot of just kind of all over the place, but there are a few of you that are here every single Wednesday, and I see you and I see those numbers are very consistent. So I really appreciate you for being here throughout all the chaos. We had spring break and then birthdays and fiesta and Easter, and now things are starting to wind down and Liliana will be out of school. And you know, Liliana's last day of school is not until June 3rd. Since when does summer start in June? I have so many questions. But yeah, I'm really trying to get back on schedule, get this thing, you know, exciting and be something you want to watch. I don't want to just be here every Wednesday boring you or post something that you have to think about clicking on. But I do appreciate all of you who are here every single Wednesday loyally and no matter what. So thank you all so much. You mean more to me than you could ever possibly imagine. I know I'm sitting here in my living room eating wings talking to myself, but I know that y'all receive it, you know what I mean? I hope that after watching this you've either snapped your fingers and agreed with me, or you've been like, she's right. I hope you've had some realization. I hope you are being treated the way that you deserve to be treated. I hope that you are treating other people the way that they deserve to be treated. I hope you're not tolerating nonsense. I hope you are also not delivering nonsense. And if you are, check yourself. It doesn't have to be like that. There's always somebody out there who will love you for who you are, who will love you exactly the way you look right now. There is somebody out there who will appreciate you and respect you and protect you and nurture you and who you are and who you're learning to be. Whatever it is that you are seeking or you feel like you are lacking, it is out there. Between Wednesdays, y'all can go watch some Netflix. But yeah, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye. April.Kristine. In generals, because I have in general, okay, try again. Oh gosh, being 5', is cute sometimes, but my god, why is my life so hard? I can't even see this green pillow behind me. I'm trying to like coordinate or whatever. Cute. I can't ever see the viewfinders. I don't know, really. I honestly really don't never know what's happening. I feel like it's so important. I don't even know if I finished that thought. If you're damaged, same, sis. It's my trauma. I just am, I don't know. It's, Mila's crying. Why is she crying? Is she awake? Did she take a nap? I don't know. I don't remember what I was saying. Peace.